Good day everyone and welcome to Adventures with Parker. Today we are here at Norfolk County Fair 2023. Now this is an event that I try to get to every single year. It is my home county fair and it just has such a very special place in my heart. I mean, I grew up here in Norfolk County. I grew up in a small town called Delhi, which is about 15 minutes away from Simcoe, which is where we are now. And you know what, just coming back to this fair, it doesn't matter how far away I go or what I accomplish outside of Norfolk, I have so much heart for this place and so much respect for, you know, where I grew up. I am a small town guy at heart, so to be able to celebrate that and come back here every year just means so much to me. Now, if you haven't seen any of my past vlogs from the fair, the Norfolk County Fair is actually one of the largest fairs in Southern Ontario. It offers a pretty big midway, lots of food options, lots of local and regional vendors. There's some crafting competitions, there's agricultural displays, there's local artists and performers, and even some big name Canadian artists that come as well for a party on the track. So yeah, there's definitely a lot that the fair offers, and more than you think for such a small town. Yeah, I'm really excited to explore everything that the fair has to offer this year. So without any further ado, let the Norfolk County Fair adventures begin. Of course, one of my most favorite parts of the fair is all of the food, and there is no shortage here at the Norfolk County Fair. There were so many different vendors that come in, and a lot of them are actually local to the area. Like, they're actually businesses from Norfolk County that come in and set up their food trucks, so it's always nice to see them at the fair. But yeah, a lot of the food is kind of contained to this one little food street, which makes it very convenient having it all in one spot, but at the same time, it can be a little overwhelming, especially for someone like me. I think I say this every year, but I always have such a hard time narrowing down my selections and picking just one thing to try. And I mean, if I could have it my way, I would sample every single thing there, but obviously neither my budget nor my stomach are big enough to handle that, so I usually start with just a few things. So yeah, it always takes me way too long to decide what I'm going to eat. I finally settled on getting a Bronx chopped cheese from the Filthy Philly. Now this is grilled ground seasoned beef, onions, and melted cheese, plus all of the toppings and sauces I wanted on a hero roll. And it was pretty good. I mean, I'm a big fan of like Philly cheesesteaks and things like that, especially if they're coming from a food truck. So this was perfect for me.
We're in for the Belgian one-craft team.
One of the most underrated parts of the fair, in my opinion, is that it also doubles as the horse show. So they do different kinds of equestrian competitions. And there's a bunch of different categories, a bunch of different types of horses, and a bunch of different types of things that are on display. So we're here on the Saturday of the fair, and they were doing the carriage competitions, which are really neat. It's not something you see a whole lot, so it's very interesting, and you definitely learn a lot from them. Of course, Norfolk County is really well known for their agriculture. It is nicknamed Ontario's Garden, and as such, the fair puts out on full display. There's lots of poultry and livestock exhibits. There's also like general crop and plant-based agricultural things to see. So it's super educational and really, really cool to see, especially for someone like me who, like, I grew up in the area, so I was definitely exposed to it, but I didn't, like, grow up on a farm. I grew up in town, so this is one of the few times of the year where I could really interact with that and, you know, really, really feel that character and that aspect of Norfolk. Duck, 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 goose. Looks like they're doing a llama competition in the show ring right now, and I guess this is where they're setting up and staging before they go in and show off their llamas.
A llama? He's supposed to be dead!
Yeah, weird.
Okay, so these are my favorite kind of cows. They are called Galways, and I like them because they're so fluffy. And the way they're colored with the black on the front and back and the white in the middle, they kind of look like Oreos. Yeah, I don't know if many people have a favorite cow, but these ones are mine. So here we can see an example of a Holstein. Now these are like the classic cows you think of, you know, those spotted black and white ones. And these make up 93.16% of the cows that we see here in Ontario. And of course, these are some of the most popular cows for dairy production. Right next to that, we have a Guernsey, and they, along with the milking shorthorn, only make up 0.14% of the dairy population in Ontario. And these cows originated in the British Isles compared to the Holstein, which originated in the Netherlands. Here we have the milking shorthorn. And like the Guernsey, it also originated in England. Okay, we got a big crowd around this guy, but the last kind of cow you can find here is the Jersey. And these ones comprise of 5.42% of the provincial herd. And they're really well known because they are the fastest maturing breed of dairy cow.
Okay, well today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about milking a cow. So my name is Cynthia Goose, and I am a dairy producer in Haldeman, just a little ways down Highway 3. And I'm also a dairy educator for the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. And I go to schools in the Niagara region, and I speak to them about the dairy industry and how our food is made and where it comes from. All kinds of grains here. There's corn. So sometimes they take the kernel and they grind it. Then we have soybeans. And then there's also, right now, you'll see farmers are going crazy taking the corn off. They're cutting the big tall corn down into corn silage. And they store it for the winter for the cows. So yes, all those ingredients will get a nutritionist coming to the farm. And a nutritionist is a scientist, takes all those samples back to the lab, and he makes a recipe for our cows to eat for 365 days of the year. They get the same food. That's just like you guys eating casserole every day, every 3 times a day. I know, boring, eh? We have our Jersey, our Holstein, our milking shorthorn. This is a Guernsey. So the first thing that we're going to do, the farmer will put a filtration system, a little slip of filter into the line before he starts milking to catch any debris or anything that might be sucked up. So we always make sure we have a milking filter put in. And this next step will be, and this is my helper Caitlin, she is going to dip the cow with a pre-dip. It's an iodine solution. And she's going to touch all 4 teats with the iodine solution to ensure, oh yeah, of course, she's going to do her job. Massaging the udder sends a little message to the cow's brain, and it releases oxytocin, which says, okay, it's time for me to get milk, time for me to let my milk down, and they automatically will do that. Okay, now we're going to take the milking cloth. In this milking cloth, there's 4 suction cups, and you'll see the red lights going back and forth. That is called a pulsation, and there's a vacuum hooked to that. So so if you put your thumb up in the air, you take your other hand, you just gently squeeze in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. That's what it feels like for the cow to have that suction cup on her teat, okay? And that will slowly draw the milk out of the cow. So we're gonna watch her. Now you can see the white milk coming down into the milking, and you're gonna see it coming up into the glass line. So this is called a pipeline. This is called a tie stall system, where the cow stays there. That's her place to live. They bring her food, they clean her there, she gets milk there. There's different types of systems of farming. There's a freestall barn where the cows walk freely wherever they want in the barn. They lay down wherever they want. And there's a parlor, a milking parlor. We don't drink tea in there. We actually milk the cows. They get brought there. Some parlors are set up for 16, some are set up for 12 at a time, and they'll bring them in. Once they're milked, they can let go, and a new amount of cows come through. The most modern type of farming is robotic farming. And once this is done, I'll put a little video back on. You can see how that's done. We have 2 robots at our farm. They wear a transponder. The cow moves around the farm, the barn, wherever she wants. She gets milked whenever she wants, and that transponder allows the computer to tell the robot when to milk her. Every other day, the milk truck comes, unless you have a really large farm. It might come every day. They'll come, and we love our truck drivers. We can't do it without them. They come and they pick up the milk, and each time they pick it up, they test it. They take a little sample jar out of our cooler, so that if for some reason that farmer had an issue, there got antibiotics in the milk, that tank of milk will be dumped. Some say, why do we have bags in Canada? Canada is one of the only countries that does bags because it's recyclable and it's less money to produce them. Big jug costs more money, so it's more efficient and it's recyclable.
Okay, some of the coolest things I love to see at the fair here in the agricultural exhibits are the giant squash and the giant pumpkins. This year's largest squash comes in at 1,281 pounds. That is huge. And then this monstrosity is the largest pumpkin, coming in at 1,595 pounds. That's huge. I gotta look in my past videos and see how these compare to previous years, but I feel like this is one of the biggest ones we've had in a while. Alright, so I think everyone can agree that one of the biggest draws to the fair is the Midway. And the rides here are provided by the Worlds Finest Shows Midway, which is kind of cool because they actually originated here in Simcoe, Ontario. So there's some local connections there as well, and they've gone on. They used to do the old, whatever the fair in Ottawa used to be, the Central Canada Fair. They provided rides there back in the day. They do the rides for the big festival in winter, the one, like the friendship one, I forget the name of it. But yeah, they do have some excellent rides here. They have some good thrill rides, some great family rides, and it's kind of nice that we have that claim to fame here. New on the Midway for 2023 is the Crazy Surf, which is one of these like rainbow style rides, kind of similar to, if you ever done Banshee at Holiday World back in the day, kind of a similar style of model. But these rides are so fun. I mean, you get the laterals going side to side, of course you also get the airtime going over the top, and the range of motion is just really cool and just creates this really dynamic and fun experience. It's not super tall, it's not super fast, although I will say these rides always have to go just a touch faster than you think they would, but yeah, overall it just creates a great ride, and I think it's a good addition to our Midway here. Okay, so I haven't done every single ride here yet. I'm definitely going to be making my rounds throughout the rest of the evening, but my initial thoughts about the Midway are that it's really, really strong this year. I think this might be one of the best and strongest midways that we've had here at the Norfolk County Fair for a while. I mean, there's quite a big variety. There's some rides that I haven't seen for a while. There's some new rides as well. And they've also made some changes to the layout compared to what they normally do. I mean, before they really would kind of stick the games on one side and the rides on the other, but they're kind of like putting some of the rides like the Funhouse and the Haunted Mansion on the side that they don't normally use, and they just, I don't know, the use of space is just really good. And it, like, even if there aren't more rides, it feels bigger, it feels a lot more expansive. But yeah, I'm gonna take a break from the rides to do some of the other things for a bit, but we'll definitely be back here, especially once the sun starts to set. That's when the Midway really starts to come alive. Alright, so in this building here, we have the Saddle Restaurant, which offers like a bunch of different foods. Like there's pastas, sandwiches, wraps. And then on this side, we have the photography competition. Alrighty, next stop on our tour of the Norfolk County Fair is the Homecraft building, and this is one that I absolutely love. This is where you find different crafting competitions, ranging from quilting to pottery to, I think, canned goods. Like, there's so much in here, and they do both a senior and a junior competition. Right off the bat, we have some entries for the new and unusual craft category. And this appears to be a model of some apartments, or maybe it's a retirement home. I'm not sure whether it's based off of a real location or not. But either way, this is quite stunning. I mean, you gotta think someone made this entire thing by hand. That's so cool. Look at these little blankets, and we got some little kids' clothes. Again, all of this that you're seeing here is handmade, and I mean the talent and dedication that goes into that, it's so commendable, and I'm so glad we get to see it and appreciate it here at the fair. Down this aisle, they have some needlework. Again, like, some of these designs are so intricate and so well done. Yeah, you just know that the artists behind these must be so dedicated. Cool, we have some holiday crafts here. It looks like they were dressing up some jars, look like snowmen and reindeers, and have the Grinch as well there. Yeah, this building makes me realize how much of an old lady I really am at heart. And here is our Norfolk County Fair 2023 Harvest Queen. She looks amazing. Some painted pumpkins and some other gourds over here. And then this display is done by the Multicultural Heritage Association of Norfolk. And now another big thing about Norfolk is that we really care about our heritage. We are a place of immigrants and people from all over the world. So again, it's something that I love to see highlighted. We especially have a lot of Eastern European influences here in Norfolk. So you see a lot of those style of crafts here. Oh my gosh, Small World at Disney would never. This area is also where you'll find the baking competitions and cannery and all like good like home country cooking style things. Got some sweets, desserts, pies. Now the downfall to all this is that you can see such wonderful culinary creations, but you're not allowed to try any for yourself, and it's a tragedy. Moving on to the downstairs portion, this is where you'll find the junior competitions. So all of the crafts done by school-age children. And some of these are like really cute, but there's some that are actually really, really well done. This is cool. This category is all about Lego that depicts basically scenes that you'd find at the fair. I think it's a really creative prompt, and I mean, the artists here definitely delivered.
Hey, guess what, folks? You gotta help me out here. Whenever I sing the word Tilsonburg, you gotta sing Tilsonburg back to me, okay? He said he'll only give you $7 a day, but if you're any good, you'll get a raise and pay. Bed's already on the bunkhouse floor. It's a little chilly, you can close my door. Tilsonburg, where?
Tilsonburg.
It was Tilsonburg. Tilsonburg, my back's still aches. Well, we'll wake up in the morning, anything but fine. The farmer said, I'm gonna teach you how to prime. Says you gotta don a pair of oilskin pants if you wanna work in the tobacco plants of Tilsonburg. Tilsonburg. Tilsonburg, where was it? Tilsonburg. My back's still late. Hear that word?
Okay, so it has started to rain here at the fair, so I think this is a good opportunity to head into the buildings and check out some of the shot Norfolk displays. So they have commercial vendors, as well as some local services being represented here. So lots to check out. Okay, so here in the arena is where you'll find the Norfolk Market, which is basically like a farmer's market. It's basically where you'll find a bunch of local vendors and small businesses all selling their wares. There's food, there's like gifts, there's blankets and quilts and mitts and all sorts of things. Okay, so this year I'm carrying on the tradition of getting a candle from Country Home Candles, and this one I got the Get Cozy scent, which is really nice. It's really soothing and relaxing, and I'm sure this is going to be a good one to put on while I'm studying and doing all my schoolwork.
So unfortunately, because of the rain, the slide is closed, so we got up to the top here and now we just work our way back down, I guess.
And that is going to do it for this year's visit to Norfolk County Fair 2023. Overall, I had a pretty good visit. It kind of sucked that the weather wasn't the best towards the end of the night, but you know what? We made the best of it. We went inside for a bit, and I still got to enjoy some night rides, so I really can't complain. Overall, Norfolk County Fair is just a really well done event, and like I said, it's kind of surprising how good it is and how extensive it is, especially given the fact that Simcoe really isn't a big town at all. So given the resources that we have and for the size of the town, we managed to pull off a pretty good event. And I mean, this is especially true when you look at other events and festivals where you see a lot of, I don't know, like downsizing, and you see a lot of these events pulling back. Norfolk County Fair seems to be going up. Like, I mean, I would say that this year's event was better than it was last year, especially in terms of the Midway and how packed the vendors were in the commercial buildings. Of course, my memory could be serving me wrong, but overall, I think things are headed in a positive direction, and it is so nice and so refreshing to see. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me in today's adventure. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more adventures from theme parks, attractions, and beyond, you might want to consider becoming a subscriber. You can also find me on social media. I'm at ADVParker on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter, and at Adventures with Parker on Facebook and TikTok. Once again, thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, the adventures are calling. See ya!
It's a lot of work in the tobacco field of Pilsenberg, 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 Pilsenberg. My back's still aches. When I hear that bird. Hey, guess what, folks? You gotta help me out here. Whenever I sing the word Joseph.
Now, this is a fair